Welcome to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. I'm Sarah Pugh, the Executive Director of the Madison County Chamber of Commerce. Each episode spotlights the people, businesses, and nonprofits that make our community thrive while sharing the stories behind what they do. We're looking forward to learning more about their story and their connection to Madison County. Hi, I'm here with BTWI, and they're going to tell us a little bit about them and their company.
So my name is Nathan Lierhof. I started BTWI about 18 years ago. We came out of necessity. I moved out to a rural Perry and did not have internet, so I decided to put matters in my own hands and created my own.
Okay, so tell me, how did that process go for you?
So I actually had just started a computer repair facility in town, and then we tried getting internet out. The local telephone company couldn't get it, and they said by the end of the year, and then at the end of that year, still nothing had happened. So I found out about another company that was selling internet equipment, and so I put up a tower inside town and put up a tower out at my house and just to just get internet out to myself. And by the time I had it, before I even had it all done, I had several neighbors that were asking me about it, wanting connected.
They wanted a piece of what you were working on, right? And then it's just taken off from there, right?
Yeah. So by 2012, it had grown enough that I asked my dad to join the company with me to take over some of the financial and business side of things. And then I quit my full-time job at the post office and decided to go headstrong. So.
Wow. That's a cool story. So what does BTWI stand for?
Bits of Technology Wireless Internet. So it all started with Bits of Technology was my computer repair. And then we added the wireless internet just to kind of separate out that part of it.
So what communities do you serve today?
So we cover everything from about Boone, straight south, all the way down here past Winterset, and then back around covering Indianola, kind of around the west side of Des Moines and south side of Des Moines. We also have a little area up by Cedar Falls as well.
Okay. So BTWI is family owned and operated.
Correct.
Okay. And what has been important to your business model?
So I want to sell internet like I want to buy internet. I've dealt with people who had contracts or they limit your speed or so, we had satellite before I started this too. And it weren't great for about the first 3 or 4 days. And then after that, it just would go to a crawl and you couldn't hardly use it. And so I was like, I don't want to build an internet as a business model. I want to present it as how I would want to consume it. I don't want data caps and I don't want regulations and I don't want my price to change. Mm-hmm. I've played that game with a different company as well, that every week or every month you have a new price we keep our solid prices. We've never changed it.
Okay. And then is that the same for residential versus commercial, or how does that work?
So we do things a little different than a lot of companies do on business, because most businesses we work with are small businesses. They're people working out of their houses or small community businesses. And so we just keep the rate the same. We don't charge extra for business if you're a business, and unless you want something above and beyond what our regular residential does, we just sell you a standard same package we would sell a customer in a rural house somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Was there a moment when you realized how important reliable internet access was to rural families and businesses?
Well, a couple of the moments would be like when I first moved out to the rural area, mm-hmm. and I was told I could have internet. They handed me a dial-up line, and I'm like, okay, I want real internet. This isn't going to work. So then I realized, I'm trying to run. My wife at the time also did reselling things on eBay, and we bought and sold a lot of things, and we couldn't do that. She had to go find a library somewhere to be able to do what she needed to do. So that became one point. But then also, as soon as I started, like I said, as soon as I put the tower up, I had to notify all my neighbors that I was putting a tower up. And so then they all started calling me, hey, what are you doing? What's this internet you're putting in? I want a part of that. And then we had a farmer that was a huge part of it that lived a couple miles north of me that bought and sold cows or bulls, and he said that they were moving all of his auctions to online auctions, and so he couldn't run his business without internet. And so he was a huge tipping point for us to kind of push a little harder and get done a little faster.
Yeah. This episode is proudly brought to you by our incredible Paint Madison County sponsors: American State Bank, Farmers and Merchants State Bank, Rotary International, Cover Bridges Winery, and Madison Tent Rentals. Join us for Paint Madison County Weekend. On Saturday, June 13th, enjoy our Sip and Paint event at Cover Bridges Winery, an afternoon filled with creativity, local wine, and fun. Then on Sunday, June 14th, artists will spread out to pre-selected locations throughout Madison County to paint some of our area's most beautiful scenery. Their artwork will then be available for purchase that evening during the Paint Madison County reception and sale at Cover Bridges Winery from 4 to 6 p.m. Thank you to our sponsors for helping us celebrate and support the arts in Madison County. Interesting. So for someone who isn't tech savvy, can you explain how wireless internet works?
So wireless internet, like most internet, like if DSL or fiber or any of the other ones, it's just the medium of how we get to it. There's a large group of companies that all connect together. And then, so you're talking from one person to another person to another person. So wireless is just how we get it from the groups of people that are all connected, that we connect to the customer. Mm-hmm. So whether you're buying fiber or DSL or cable, that's just the path to get from like a main source of internet out to the customer. And so the quality of the internet and everything else largely depends on the backside of that, of how we're actually processing the data. Okay. I know it doesn't quite explain how it works, but it gives a lot of underlining, hopefully.
Yeah. So BTWI offers everything from basic internet plans to gig speed options, but how has this demand changed over the last few years?
There's kind of a twofold, in my opinion, on that. The demand has grown with video services and virtual reality, and the gaming industry is kind of what was a big push for us because they're more based on latency than speed. And so we are able to, with the way we designed our network, we can keep our latencies very low. Mm-hmm. And so gamers really like that. But then that helped us get into the work from home market where we're doing Zoom calls and phone calls, which are also very latency dependent. And so the demand has been largely marketed to needing extremely fast speeds. But even when we hook people up to the faster speeds, we're not seeing them use as much as they actually think they're going to need. Mm-hmm. So the demand has increased, but we've seen the demand increase more for better latency and more resilience than probably faster speeds.
Yeah. Okay. So what does it take behind the scenes to provide that reliable internet to those new demands?
So there's a lot of different factors we put in. Redundancy is the main one. We're able to interconnect our towers wirelessly. We have several feeds. We try and feed each area with two different data centers. We have two data centers that we pull from, and then we try and bring two of those links into each community. So we always have we're redundant from the tower. The tower is redundant to different towers, and each of those are redundant back to two different data centers. So even if one data center fails, it'll still continue to work.
Yeah.
So
okay. One thing customers often mention is your local customer service. Why is that something you prioritize?
Well, we consider our customers part of our family. And we say we're a family business, which we are. We have a lot of my family works for our company, and we, even to our employees that aren't technically family, they're still considered family. We treat each other like family. We get-togethers, different things. And then we want our customers to feel that same way. So when we talk to you on the phone, we're treating you like you're one of our family. That's our goal. So that we're all kind of, one big family.
Yeah. So how does being local help you better understand and serve your customers?
There's, even in the small area that we do, we can see a huge difference of needs as well as personalities and just from the different areas that we serve. And so we can cater, we can kind of get to know the area and get to know what are the needs in that area, what are the obstacles in that area, because each community may have a different preference. Some people do want the faster speeds, and some people are more concerned about, I want to call and talk to a human being. So it does vary a little bit by your geographic. So being in this area, we can actually come down, meet with a customer, get to know them, get to know what the needs are, and make sure we're fulfilling those needs as needed. Yeah,
because sometimes the customer doesn't even know what all is available because they're not an expert in the field. They're just trying to complete their business. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And being a small business owner, we understand that, when you come into you know how to make a cookie. And so you start a cookie shop, and then you realize that's only 20% of the actual business. There's so much more back. So we don't want that, internet to be a burden on that. We want to do what we do and let you do what you do.
Yeah, nice. So what's coming for BTWI?
So we've continuing to grow in the different markets. serving small communities. We kind of want to stick to the small community aspect, but our shift has moved a little bit almost to businesses and smaller communities because we found that what we provide is a lot of what small businesses need. And so we've really pushed a lot more into businesses recently because we've seen there's a huge need there for that.
Yeah, so. Nice. So why is it important for businesses like BTWI to stay involved in their local community?
Again, to understand our customer, to know what their needs are, because they vary from area to area and even from business type to business type. So if we can actually come in, spend some time with them, get to know what they're doing, we can learn better what their needs are. And being here in the community, we can just drive out, stop in, and talk to them rather than trying to talk to someone from a different state or somewhere a long ways away. We can be right there. We can come down, meet with you, see what you're doing, a better idea of what you need, and educate. Because sometimes there's been a big market push that you need gigabit. And so a lot of times we can come in and everyone thinks they need gigabit. But as soon as we come out and we actually look at what they're doing, we're like, you don't need to spend that much money. We can get you something significantly less and still meet all your needs.
Yeah. Yeah. So has being connected to organizations like the Chamber helped your business grow relationships locally?
Yes, especially with businesses. As we move into businesses, being a chamber and getting to know other small businesses, it's kind of I'm not sure what the word is for, but it's really meaningful to me to talk to other businesses that are going through, especially startup companies that are going through the process of learning all the things I had to learn 20 years ago as getting into this and, getting into a business and being a small business myself. Being part of a chamber has really helped me able to actually get to know a lot of the businesses and talk with them and kind of learn what their needs are and what the needs of the community are.
Yeah. If someone is struggling with their internet service, what would you want them to know?
First, there's a lot of times there's more options once you realize. And advertising is advertising. It's made to persuade you that you need it. And so, give us a call. Even if it's not something we can serve you, we want to help you find what's right and kind of give you the facts so you can make the best decision, whether it's us or whether it's somebody else or whether you need more than one. Because sometimes if you're mission critical, we want to have, we'll come in there and honestly say, we probably should have more than one connection if it's something that's mission critical. So.
And where can listeners learn more about BTWI or check service availability?
So our website is btwi.net, and you can go there, check things out. We have a place you can put an address in, or you can give us a call. It's 515-465-3043.
Wonderful. And is there anything you'd like to add for the listeners today?
Just give us a call if you need any help. We'd love to help you out. Love to look at all your needs and help you be able to do your business or home or whatever you need and get you hooked up correctly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for listening to Bridging the Gap, the Madison County Chamber of Commerce podcast, where Madison County's stories and businesses connect. We hope today's conversation gave you a deeper look at the people and passion behind our local community. To learn more about today's guest, visit their website, and for more chamber events, membership, or resources, visit www.madisoncounty.com. Be sure to subscribe, share, and join us next time as we continue bridging the gap across Madison County.